Good day, I am Dr. Durrell Pulley, the spiritual leader of today's Church Tampa Bay, and I am excited about Ministry Development Weekend at UPCHURCH. I'm excited about coming to LA January the 28th through the 30th, 2022 for Ministry Development Weekend. It's going to be a powerful weekend, a time for better living, a time to recharge and get ready for 2022 and the fullness of all that it has to bring. So registration is going on now. You can register, and even if you're coming from out of town, you can still be a part. There is limited housing for those that are coming out of town. So you got to RSVP as soon as possible. Again, I'm inviting you to Ministry Development Weekend, January the 28th through the 30th, 2022 at UPCHURCH with Reverend Sherri James and Reverend Sheree Thompson. I'm excited. It's always a great time, and you're going to be a part of it.
Hey UPCHURCH family, I'm here to give you a brief announcement about our spiritual education classes. Classes are in session starting next week. On January 9th, Spiritual Principles for Lasting Weight Loss returns for a second session. That class will be on Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Beginning on January 16th, our Bible 4 class will begin. John Downey's teaching that course, and it'll take place at 3 p.m. on Sundays. And starting that week, on January 19th, we'll have our Basic Truth Principles 1 class. This is a great class for those of you who are new to the teaching, new members, or who want a refresher on the basics. That class will take place on Wednesdays, and the time will be announced. Register today at UPCHURCH at upchurch.org, or just go to our website, upchurch.org, and register for your class today. God bless.
I want you to join me Sunday, January 9th for my new workshop, Manifesting Money. This workshop is a sneak preview of the larger course that's coming later in the month of January. But this is an opportunity for you to get in and for you to learn about some of the principles that'll be covered in the larger course. And if you haven't already, just by signing up for the workshop, you will get a copy of my new digital planner, also called Manifesting Money. Can you tell what we're going to be talking about? You don't want to miss this opportunity. Go ahead right now. There's a link in the show notes. I'll see you on the 9th.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now is the time for me to let go of the shame. My past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. Ooh, I'm ready for my change. I forgive them. I forgive them. surrender. I'm ready for my change. Ooh, I'm ready for my change. Forgive me. Forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on, I let go. Oh, I'm ready for my change. Oh, I'm ready for my change. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready for change. Don't give up. Don't let go. I'm ready for change. Hold on. Hang on tight. Oh, I'm ready for change. Oh, I'm ready for my change.
Welcome to 2022 and the new season, if you will, of Up Church. I'm Reverend Sherri James, and I am so excited to have you here with us today. If you are visiting with us for the first time, if you're doing this on YouTube, let me ask you to go ahead and like, subscribe, and leave us a great comment, and then make sure that you share this service. And if you are watching us on Facebook, same thing. Make sure that you like our page, that you share this service, that you leave us a comment. Tell somebody about it. You never know whose life you could change simply because you tell somebody about it. I want to say thank you to our worship team. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's take a moment to open this new year, this new service in prayer. Would you pray with me? Father, Mother God, we open our hearts and our minds to your teaching. It is a new year, a new day, a new opportunity for us to grow and expand. And I call on the wonder-working power of God to work through this idea, through this group called Up Church, to serve humankind. Let us be a living testimony that you can love people into their true identity and to their highest potential. Let us be a living testimony of what it means to spread God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. Let the work that we do this year be our best work yet. Bring us together in a new way as a team. Strengthen us. Anchor our leaders together. Connect us one to another. Bless the men and women that are gathered here who have come for the food, the spiritual food that we are serving here at Up Church. I thank you, Spirit. I know that it is your will that we have as far as we can see, that it is your will that we live out the lavish abundance on our lives. I give thanks, God, for all that you do through us, for us. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. I bless this new chapter for Up Church. I bless where you're taking us in 2022. And I declare that this year is our best year yet. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. In the name and in the nature and the consciousness of I am. This prayer is so, and so it is. We believe with Jesus that it is God's will that every person on the face of this earth live a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. Part of how we live out that belief is through fulfilling the vision to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. We believe you at your best. We believe you living fully as the spiritual giant that you are makes life better for you and makes life better for everyone around you. And we believe the best way to do that is to love you into that expression. And so we wrap our arms around you and see you as your highest and best self. And we affirm that for you no matter how you come expressing. Our mission is to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. When they ask you, what they do over there at Up Church, you tell them they teach spiritual principles. They practice, they have a rockin' worship service. They smash fellowship. And man, do they master community outreach. That's what we do over here at Up Church. Just in case somebody asks you, you let them know that's what we do over here. We've got a new theme this year. We just came through a really, almost 2 years of a pandemic. And, in some ways, we're not completely done. And I learned something about transformation. In transformation, there is a part that's called separation, and then there's a part that's called liminality, and then there's a part that's called reintegration. And separation is clear. It's when you separate from the crowd, you come apart. But liminality is like this in-between stage. It's like the betwixt, the in-between, right? You're not where you were. You're not where you're going. You're just kind of in this in-between stage. And it is in this stage that we experience the most stress possible especially because we don't know when the end will be. We know that no consciousness lasts forever. So this consciousness called COVID is going to pass. But when it's going to pass, it's not quite clear to us. And so it's in this in-between stage that you just kind of get stuck. You're uncomfortable. It's not yet a new normal because ain't nothing normal. And so the way through is to reconnect, to reset, and reaffirm. And that is our theme for 2022. Reconnect with the Christ of your being. Reset, get back on track with your spiritual practices. Maybe all of this stress has just kind of tossed you to and fro emotionally. Well, you have the ability to hit the reset button and get back on track. And then reaffirm, because through it all, whatever is going on externally, you want to reaffirm that you are the Son of God in whom he is well pleased, that you are God's beloved through whom the Spirit desires desperately to express. That's our theme for 2022. Reconnect, reset, and reaffirm. And today is Burning Bowl Sunday. Now, we have got an incredible Burning Bowl ceremony for you. We've sent you details about it so that you can follow along and do your own Burning Bowl in your home, preferably outside. Preferably outside. And we're going to be working with a text for the next 8 weeks called The Handbook of Positive Prayer by Hypatia Hasbrook. This is a powerful text. Make sure you have it in your library. We're going to be working with the chapter on Burning Bowl for today. But you can reach out to the church office if you want to get a physical copy, or you can go ahead and go to Amazon and get a digital copy. All right, I'm going to pass the baton now to our assistant minister and let us continue with this amazing Burning Bowl Sunday.
I'm Reverend Sheree, and I am so excited to begin 2022 with you, Up Church. It is my joy to be here with you today. I'm Reverend Sheree Thompson. I serve at Up Church as the assistant minister and the director of spiritual education. And my mission on this earth plane is to love you up to your true potential. That's how me and Up are alike. We're at one with that. Loving you up to your true potential. And I want you to know that this is an amazing place to grow spiritually. If you're visiting with us for the first time, if you have clicked in and found us time and time again, I want to encourage you to plant yourself here at Up Church. Plant yourself in this soil. We are so fertile for growth. We continuously pour into you the truth that you need to know to break through whatever is in your path, whatever is in your way, whatever is keeping you from your highest good. This is a great spiritual community. It is filled with people who are here and determined to realize their divine potential. Won't you join us? I want to encourage you to take that first step and just let us know you're interested. Email us at upchurch@upchurch.org and we'll give you your next step. And in the meantime, we want you to know who you are worshiping with. You got a powerful group of people you've plugged into. And so Up Church family and friends, I want you to let us know, declare like you've never declared before, your spiritual name. So what we do, friends, is that we put in the live chat or in the comments our spiritual name. And all that you do for your spiritual name is connect I am with a power of God. And so I want you to really work today. Find that divine idea that you want to experience more of and claim it right now using your I am power. I am prosperous. What's your spiritual name? Go ahead and share it in the chat. I love to see you expressing yourself for who you really are. It's so good to know one another this way. I get to know you first by your spiritual name, and that just makes me so happy. Thank you so much for participating. I want you to continue to add your name, your spiritual name to the chat. And Happy New Year. Let's say Happy New Year to one another. Happy New Year. Happy New You. It's now time for our daily inspiration.
Good afternoon, Up Church. My name is Amiri McKinnon, and today I'll be reading the daily inspiration for January 2nd, 2021, even though it's the year 2022. Take inventory. After the usual year-end shopping period, many retail outlets take inventory. Though usually a tedious task, it is a must for retailers. Taking a personal inventory of life as individuals is also a must, and this is a good time to reflect on how we have done in all areas of our life this past year, starting with our spiritual life. Let us take stock of our relationship with God by answering these questions. Do I have a closer relationship with God now than I had a year ago? Am I asking God to reveal the divine plan for my life, or am I in a repeat mode of my personal plan? Is prayer and meditation part of my lifestyle? Be scrupulously honest, yet kind to yourself. Examine every area of your life rigorously, then invite the Holy Spirit to help you make changes where necessary. Let the transformation begin. Examine yourself to see whether you are living in the faith. Test yourselves. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Thank you.
That familiar voice lets me know that my baby's home for the holiday. Thank you, Amiri, for that daily inspiration. It's now time for our first affirmation of power for 2022. Now, this is right in alignment with our theme to reconnect, reset, and reaffirm. And so we're going to focus in on reconnect this month. Let's affirm together. Whenever things go bad or wrong or painful for me, I get still, turn within, and reconnect with God. I plug into love and my relationships are in harmony. I plug into power and I am empowered to begin again. I plug into life and I am healthy, whole, and strong. I plug into substance and I am divinely supplied. I plug into wisdom and I am guided to right action. I reconnect to God, and in every way, my life gets better and better. And so it is. Let's work with that this month As we work today to release what no longer serves us, remember that we can always and in all ways be connected to the one power and one presence, and allow our experiences to get in line, to get in order behind that divine connection. God bless you. I trust you're going to have a powerful experience, and I look forward to having our burning bowl ceremony together. God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Sheree. I wanted to take a moment to just talk briefly with you about Ministry Development Weekend and what to expect. On Friday, January 28th, we're going to start with an opening session that will be in the evening after work. So wherever you are, you'll be able to drive in if you're local. If you are flying in, you'll want your flight to have you in LA round about 4 o'clock. That'll give you enough time to get out of the airport and get across town to the retreat location. On Saturday morning, we're going to start with a session where we're focusing on the 3-year plan for UPCHURCH and the vision that God has given me for our ministry. What you may not know is that I've been working behind the scenes with Reverend Sheree, with Reverend Pulley, with our board of directors to develop this 3-year plan. And so I'm so excited to roll it out to you. I can't wait to get I'm a little nervous to get your opinion of it and all of that. But I'm really excited to roll it out and for us to talk about it and talk about where we're going together. The rest of the day on Saturday will be workshops. And then on Sunday, we'll still have our virtual service. Reverend Pulley has agreed to do a sermon that we can use in a virtual service. And there's going to be a special in-person service for those that are there and that are a part of what we're doing on the retreat weekend. And so those of you that have experienced Reverend Pulley live, you already know that this is going to be amazing. And so book your tickets, make your plans, come on, hang out with us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 28th of January, the 29th, and the 30th. Now, I also wanted to share with you that all of the space is committed. I needed you guys to let me know last week, and everybody that raised their hand, I have a room for you. The only way that a room opens up is that someone who raised their hand first decides that they are not coming. So if you are interested, please still put your name on the RSVP list, and I will let you know if a space opens up. You can also simply just come and stay at a local hotel. That's very much available to you. But if you want to stay on the retreat premises, I would need to have somebody else decide that they're not going to make it, and then you would be able to take their space. I would still say that this is worth the effort. The breakthroughs that come through Ministry Development Weekend are amazing. And I know that you will want to have that experience. So I want to show you just a little bit of the property that we're going to be on. This is a 9-bedroom home. So a little mansion. Yeah, mansion much. 9-bedroom home. Beautiful, beautiful location. Kitchen is incredible. As I was seeing it, I was seeing us in there, and I already know somebody is a great cook that's going to be on the premises. I just got that in my mind. I'm speaking that into action. And can you smell the smells? And you may not know this about me, but I'm super squeamish, so bathrooms are a big deal. And so I wanted to make sure that the bathrooms were on point, and they are beautiful luxury accommodations. The bedrooms are beautiful. We also have an amazing outdoor space where we'll be able to meet indoors and outdoors. They're beautiful, cozy living spaces. So we'll make sure that there's time built in when you just want to curl up on the couch and journal, or maybe go sit outside and meditate. The space is absolutely gorgeous. And so I can't wait to see you January 28th, 29th, and 30th. And again, all of the spaces in the home are committed. They're spoken for. The only thing that would change that if somebody changes their travel plans. But I encourage you, if you're coming from out of town, to still come. We can find hotels that are reasonable because you don't want to miss this experience. All right, let's continue with the service. I'm passing it to our worship team, and then I'm going to be talking to you about that burning bowl experience.
There was so much on my mind, searching for that peace, but the peace I could not find. So then I knelt down to pray and help me please. Then he said, you don't have to cry, 'cause I'll supply all your needs.
As soon as I stop worrying how the story ends,
I let go,
I let go and I let God, let God have His way.
That's when
things start happening.
I stopped looking,
I stopped looking at back then.
I let go,
I let go and I let God have His way.
There's so much going on. Sometimes I can't find my way, and oftentimes I struggle from day to day. I have to realize it's not my battle. It's not my battle to fight, but I know that I put it in your hands, that everything will be alright.
As soon as I stop
worrying
how the story ends,
when I let go,
and
I let God,
let God.
That's when
things start
I stop looking,
I stop looking at.
I let go,
I let go and
I let God,
let God have His way.
let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God. Hold on, my brother, and let God. Hold on, my sister, and let God. Hold on, everybody. Oh, and soon let God, let go, and let God, let go, let God, He'll have His way when you're done now. When you feel you have nowhere to go, just let God. When you feel you have nothing left, just let God.
Every year we work with the theme for Burning Bowl of let go, let God take you higher. Let go, let God take you higher. Let go, let God take you higher. Our intention with Burning Bowl is really to release the stuff underneath, the stuff that's in the way. Now, I'm not going to keep you long today because I want to make sure that I make time for the burning bowl ceremony. But I want to talk about why a burning bowl, because we've been doing this, and maybe you came into this practice and you didn't really know why we got started with a burning bowl. Where did it come from? And maybe you've been doing it and it's like, well, who thought of this? Like, what was this actually about? So the reason that burning bowl is so powerful and why we do a burning bowl here at UPCHURCH is that sometimes we have thoughts and feelings that lie beneath our conscious awareness, but that are active in our lives because it's creating an experience. So we know that the thoughts and the feelings are there because we're getting the results of those thoughts and feelings. But at our present level of consciousness, we can't really see them. So it would be like, you're having an experience where you're constantly having more month at the end of your money. There's a thought, a feeling, a belief, an attitude beneath that experience. And it may be so buried in the subconscious mind that you can't see it. So the people of Jesus's day ascribed to the heart what we ascribe to the subconscious phase of mind. To them, the heart was the memory bank, and it was the seat of the feeling nature of humankind. Listen to Jesus speaking in the 12th chapter of Matthew, verses 34 and 35. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The good man out of his good treasure brings forth good. And the evil man out of his evil treasure brings forth evil. There is this connection between what is in the heart and what comes out of the mouth. In other words, what is coming out of the mouth is not just in response to a particular situation. It's not just in response to some external stimulus. That what is coming out is a function of what is in the heart. And so this is why Jesus is saying the good man out of his good treasure brings forth good. That if you have put good in, if the treasure in your heart is good, then what is going to come out also will be good. So my sermon thesis for you is that it can't hold on to you if you let it go. It can't hold on to you if you let it go. And I tell you, I know that we each have these experiences where we feel like the thing has a grip on us. But if we really understood how life worked, we would understand that what is happening is that we have a grip on it. Now, you can fill in the blank with whatever it is. It could be overeating. It could be depression. It could be chronic loneliness. It could be anything. If you don't hold on to it, it won't hold on to you. And so today, we're going to take you through a process so you can let it go. This is Jesus speaking in Matthew. When the unclean spirit has gone out of a man or woman, he or she passes through waterless places seeking rest, but finds none. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it empty, swept, and put in order. Then he goes and brings with him 7 other spirits more evil than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that man becomes more worse than the first. The unclean spirit is a thought, it is a feeling, it is a belief, or it is an attitude that spoils our life in some way. Here, you get a large sum of money and you know that there's a thought, you get nervous, you know that there's a thought that is ultimately going to be set in motion to run that money out of your life. And so you're almost uncomfortable when the large sum comes in because you know that it's on its way out. Not because you're a bad person, but because you've got a thought underneath that is operating, that is keeping you from having more than enough. That's the unclean spirit. And it's operating beneath the surface of the consciousness. And it's so subtle that you can't even see it. And it looks like a car accident and, oh, I've got to pay this repair. It looks like, oh, this came up and I've got to handle this expense. It looks like, oh, this family member needs me and I've got to take care of this. And it's so subtle that it looks like everyday experiences. And so you get the consciousness in order, but it didn't get replayed, or didn't get anchored in. And so that unclean spirit has the ability to rear its head and sometimes make your life worse than it was before you started. The house in this parable represents the individual consciousness, and the waterless places are states of consciousness where no life can grow. That the house got in order, but because they didn't do the abundance work of establishing order in the mind, that when they go back to things as they were, not only do things return to what they were, but they go and bring an even worse experience in for themselves. Let me give you a word about unclean spirits. Often the unclean spirits that cause the most trouble are hidden in the basements of our houses of consciousness, in the subconscious memory banks. We don't even realize they're there. We are operating out of a consciousness without even realizing it. And here's the thing, not all of the troublemakers are harmful. Some of them are simply no longer appropriate. But because they still form the hidden motives for conscious thoughts, words, and deeds, they spoil our experience. Here's an example. You've got a young kid. They're afraid of the dark. Now, that we would agree is probably a normal thing for a little kid to be afraid of the dark. But a grown-up who never examines that and is still afraid of the dark, it's not a wrong thought, but it's inappropriate. And it spoils the experience. And so you've got some spoiling, unclean thoughts that are in the memory banks of your mind that are interfering with your health, that are interfering with your wealth, and that are interfering with your happiness. And so it is very important that you get clear on what is in the heart. What is in the heart can disorder our biochemistry and actually bring on major health problems. What is in the heart can make someone accident prone. What is in the heart can make someone alcoholic. What is in the heart can make somebody chronically unlucky in love. Everybody around them is in a relationship, but somehow they just never attract anybody worth hanging on to. What is in the heart can make you afraid of success. What is in the heart can make you irrationally suspicious of other persons. You know, you can trust someone, but verify. But there is a level of distrust that is irrational, that interferes with your ability to partner with other people. What is in the heart can make you self-distrustful, meaning that you don't trust yourself to do things. And so you constantly self-sabotage yourself because you don't trust that your effort is going to work out. So you never really give a full effort, because if you did, then, well, you'd be possibly be in trouble, because maybe you might find out that your full out effort was no good or not enough. What is in the heart can make somebody painfully shy. What is in the heart can make somebody obsessive or depressed. See, if what is in the heart is negative or inappropriate, it will eventually defile your life. That's just how this works. And so you want to take some time to get clear on what are the things that are chronically appearing in my experience. Am I chronically dealing with some kind of health issue? Am I chronically dealing with some kind of relationship issue? Am I chronically dealing with a job issue, or joblessness, or underemployment issue? What am I chronically dealing with? What is showing up over and 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 over again? Because that tells you that that's something that is in the heart. And so the reason that you want a burning bowl is because what's in the heart is essentially energy that's been trapped. That you had an experience or witnessed an experience, and it produced an emotion inside of you. And because it wasn't addressed, that energy got trapped in the body, trapped in the heart. Energy is the name that is given to the basic material stuff of the universe. Everything is made of energy, and everything emits some energy. Our bodies, which are made of energy, emit energy. Even our thoughts and our feelings give off energy. They are like patterns of energy. And if we hooked you up to a graph, they could actually track the pattern. This is how they're able to do lie detector tests. Or they hook you up to different electrodes all over your body, and then they ask you to feel different things or practice different feelings. And then based on your feeling, it literally causes the graph to move. And so beliefs and attitudes, they're just simply habitual thoughts that have feelings attached to them. That's just what a belief is. It's a habitual thought with a feeling attached to it. A past event that was so disturbing as to be deliberately buried in the memory bank usually was buried because it aroused a strong feeling called an emotion that was considered dangerous, because if expressed, it could lead you to perform some forbidden action. So the experience was so traumatic that the emotion that came up, it was like, don't ever speak, don't think about that again. Don't go down that road again. And so you gave instructions to your subconscious mind to bury this beneath the surface. Now, emotions prepare the human body to release energy through overt action. But if that energy is not released, it gets trapped in the memory of the event that aroused the emotion. Let me say that again. Emotions set the body in motion to release energy through some overt action. So if you think about, they always use this example and it always gets on my nerves, but it's a good one. You're out on the savannah and there's a lion, right? And so you're going to release some energy fear, right? You're going to release some energy so that you can take off running. But many times what has happened with us is that we have gone through experiences where the body got prepared to release energy. But because of the nature of the circumstance, the nature of the event, that release never happened. And so the memory of the event gets trapped with the emotion in the body. Are you following me? Let me know if this is tracking for you. And so if you think about a little child in a situation where they're potentially being harmed, the emotion is aroused to release energy for an overt action, but an overt action might bring further abuse. And so rather than release that energy, it gets trapped with the emotional experience. These kinds of things happen over our lifetime. It doesn't have to be something as egregious as abuse. It could just be in a scary movie, right? But the nature of energy is to move. And so some of that trapped emotional energy is going to get emitted whenever there seems to be an appropriate moment. Whenever an event occurs that reminds us of some buried memory, some trapped thought energy, and emotional energy may escape to disrupt normal bodily functions, or perhaps cause inappropriate or overreactive behavior. Are you following me? Let me know. I want to hear in the chat. This is good because we're going to be free today. I don't know about you, but I'm getting free. The nature of energy is to move. So it isn't, come on, God. The nature of energy is that it moves. So even though it got trapped in the body, it's still trying to release. It's still trying to get out. And so it comes out in aberrant ways. It might come out in overeating. It might come out in anger issues. It might come out in crossing boundaries and you don't know how to form relationship with people. These things are trapped inside the subconscious memory banks. And so the question is, have you met your subconscious mind? Have you had a talk with your obedient servant? See, the subconscious mind has been compared to an obedient servant, but not a very bright servant whose principal function is to keep you alive, keep you safe, and in your conception of happiness, keep you happy. That's his job. And everything that the subconscious mind is to do that. And so when you get an instruction or give an instruction to the subconscious mind, it follows it to the letter. And strong emotion helps it make helps you make an impression on the subconscious mind. And from the moment that you are born, and I'm talking babies all the way to 89, 90, 92, 95, 105. Every time you issue an order to your servant, first as feelings, but then as you grew, you got words and you gave orders to the subconscious phase of mind. And it, like an obedient servant, carried them out. When we order when we order the subconscious mind to bury an unpleasant memory, we do it with a feeling or a thought that means, whether we said these words or not, I never want to think this again. Hear that? When we give the order, no matter what the words are that we use, the intent is, I don't want to think this ever again. And so the feeling comes up and we go hunting for the chocolate chip ice cream. The feeling comes up and we go looking for the social media. That's what's so dangerous about social media and these devices that we're on, is that very often we're trying to avoid feeling. So those things aren't evil in and of themselves, but the question is, why am I on it for X amount of time? What is it keeping me from paying attention to? Come on, somebody. Sometimes the memories that come up when you're doing a burning like the one we're going to do today, it's not of even actual events, but of frightening stories or plays that aroused disturbing thoughts or feelings. It makes no difference. Hear me now. It makes no difference whether or not the memories are actual or fictitious. Sometimes you could be operating on something that didn't even actually happen. But if the person orders the subconscious mind to bury the memories, the emotional energy and the energy of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the attitudes get trapped with them, they can be disruptive and they can interfere with the reception of right answers to your prayers. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. The Spirit's, the answer to your prayer, whatever it is always being given to you. In fact, the moment you pray for it, the answer is there. In fact, you couldn't pray for it if the answer was not there. It's instantaneous. But what interferes with your ability to hear the Spirit is that you've got these hidden thoughts and feelings and beliefs and attitudes that are running the show and keeping you from your best body, keeping you from your overflow, your financial overflow, keeping you from your greatest happiness. And so today, we want to dig in. We want to get beneath the surface of this stuff, because the truth is that you are in control. The truth is that you are not stuck. The truth is that God would never take you someplace that God could not keep you. And so even though you may seem to be stuck in a chronically debilitating pattern of action, you are not stuck. We have some options. So here is the thing. Your subconscious mind will obey you. And I'm going to take you through a burning bowl ceremony that you can do right where you are. You don't need any fancy tools. You just need some matches or a lighter, some paper, and a metal bowl that you can burn it up in. That's it. Simple. Could be a metal sink. And in case somebody sees the video, you should do this outside. Don't do this in your house. Your subconscious mind will respond to your conscious commands, but you must be firm in your purpose. When you told the subconscious mind, I never want to think this again, you were serious. That the energy and the intent was in this. And I'm saying that you come with that same energy, keep that same energy, and you can reverse lifelong patterns. You can break so-called generational curses. I don't care if everybody in your family decided that they don't want to eat right and they want to invite every disease under the sun. You can make a new decision. You got to be firm in your decision. I don't care if nobody in your family got $2 to rub together. If you decide that you require wealth, you can make it so. And if you don't believe it, neither will your subconscious phase of mind. Your subconscious phase of mind moves on your command. It moves on the things that you believe in. And it will do for you what you command it to do with feeling. Let's take a moment to move into the burning bowl ceremony and release what no longer serves. this burning bowl, I'm going to do a little differently because we're virtual. And I want you to be able to have this experience right where you are. This is something that you can do outside your home or safely in your home if maybe you have a metal bowl like the one that I have. I got this one at Target. The purpose of this burning bowl is to let go and let God take you higher. We want to remove any of the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or attitudes that are interfering with the good that God has for us. We know that God withholds nothing. So if God is withholding nothing, and there's something in our experience that seems to be kept away from us, whatever that is, whether it's health, wealth, or happiness in some form, then there is a hidden thought or feeling or belief or attitude. And so this burning bowl really might be one of the most important things that you do all year, because it's going to open the space for you to begin to hear God in the direction of the good that you desire. You're going to want to have a suitable container like this bowl that I mentioned. You can also use your fireplace. You have a metal kitchen sink that can work. And you're going to need several sheets of paper, right, and a pen or a pencil. And it's best to do this when you know that you're going to be uninterrupted. And if there is someone that's present, you want to make sure that they are lending support and not disbelief to what it is that you are doing. This is such a powerful, powerful, sacred ceremony. I also want to encourage you that you do this maybe 4 to 6 hours before you go to bed. Going through a burning bowl releases energy. And if you do this too close to bedtime, you may find that you are awake until dawn. So the first step in this process is that we simply want to affirm God's presence. And we do that 3 times simply to make an impression on the subconscious mind. And so it could look like this. I acknowledge the presence and the power of God. I acknowledge the presence and the power of God right here, right now. I acknowledge the power and the presence of God right here, right now. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Once you acknowledge the presence and the power of God, then the next step in the process is to affirm that any memories that surface are harmless. When you go through a burning bowl, you're uncovering what's beneath the surface, but it's beneath the surface for a reason. It's there because at the time that it came up in your experience, it was something that you consciously or unconsciously instructed your subconscious mind to bury. And so you want to remind yourself that because God is everywhere evenly present, because where I am, the power and the presence of God is, it is safe for these memories to reveal themselves. It is safe for these memories to reveal themselves. Right now, the beautiful, sweet Spirit of God surrounds me, holds me dear. It is safe for these memories to be revealed. Again, we're just setting the atmosphere. We're affirming the presence of God. We are reminding ourselves that we are safe. And then you declare aloud. Now, the whole point of this burning bowl experience is that it is both spoken, written, and silent affirmations that you're using through this process. And so you declare aloud, I now release the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes that are causing, and then you fill in the blank. And again, what you're trying to get at is what's beneath the surface. Maybe you always have more month at the end of your money. So I now release the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes that are causing me to run out of money before the month ends. Or maybe you deal with depression. I now release the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the attitudes that are causing me to feel this depression. Perhaps one of the things that you work with is chronic loneliness. I now release the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the attitudes that are causing this chronic loneliness. See, if you knew what was causing it, you could do something about it. The reason that we're going through this burning bowl experience is that there's something operating beneath the surface, that it's there, I know it's there, but I can't quite see it. And so it's to fill in the blank. And then it's time to write. And so you want to get that first sheet of paper, and this is what you want to write. I'm going to put the card on the screen for you. I now release these errors. I loose them. I let them go. And I let God have God's perfect way with them. I'll repeat that one more time. I now release these errors. I loose them. I let them go. And I let God have God's perfect way with them. See, the thing that you want to realize is that the errors are the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, and the attitudes that are attached to the memory. Not the memory. It is the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, and the attitudes that are attached to the memories. The memories themselves are not errors. Whether the memory is actual or fictitious doesn't matter. They're part of your past experience. And they were recorded as you interpreted them at the time. And so even if now you realize that your interpretation was wrong, was not in alignment with what happened, the distortion itself is a valid part of your past. The error lies in holding on to the particular thoughts or feelings, beliefs, or attitudes. So the memory itself is not the error. It's what you're thinking about it. That's the error. It's what you're feeling about it. That's the error. It's what you're believing or the attitude that you have about it. That is the error. And then the next step is just simply to sit quietly. You may concentrate on your breath, but really it's just sit quietly. And as you do, the memories will surface. And you want to write them down, preferably in short phrases. Any thoughts, feelings, beliefs, attitudes, whatever comes up. You're not judging it. You're not rereading what you write. In fact, you might take a clean sheet of paper and cover it up so that as you write, you're hiding what it is that you've written. The point is to get it out. Reading back what you write will tend to basically feed those phrases back into the subconscious memory bank. And again, don't censor anything. It doesn't matter if you don't see a connection between the challenge that you're having and the memory that comes up. That's not what's important. See, at the time that the event happened, every feeling or thought that you had confirmed an attitude or feeling or belief that you had about yourself or other people or the world. And your subconscious mind, it just obediently filed them away with other memories that seem related. And so it doesn't, you might not see anything negative about some memory or some thought, and that's okay. Write it down anyway. Remember, something that was positive in the past can be inappropriate in the present. When no more memories come, you want to turn the pages over so that you cannot read what you have written, and you want to tear them to shreds. Literally tear it up. And you are affirming aloud, I now release these errors. I loose them. I let them go. And I let God have God's perfect way with them. And so however many sheets of paper you have, you're just ripping them to shreds. And affirming, I now release these errors. I loose them. I let them go. I let God have God's perfect way with them. And now it's time to burn them. And so you can burn them one at a time in whatever way you see fit. You can take it and burn the whole thing at the same time. But again, you are watching it burn and you are reducing it completely to ashes and letting it go. This mindset no longer has a hold over me. This idea, this could be silent, but I'm saying it aloud for the video. I reduce this mindset back to nothingness. This attitude that there is more month than money now leaves me alone. I let it go. The energy around this is released. Divine love now consumes these errors. The energy is released to be reused in a new and better form. And you just repeat that to yourself. And again, you're just repeating it as long as the burning continues. Again, you can burn one scrap at a time or you can burn several. And if the scraps burn at different rates, it's all good. Just reduce all the paper to ashes. And then you want to give thanks. Thank you, God, that I am free. Thank you that I am free from this mindset. I'm free from the mistakes of the past, and I'm free from the results of the mistakes of the past. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. And then the next step in this process is you want to affirm what it is that you want. Now, we already talked about the unclean spirits. We have cleared the way of this unclean spirit. And now is the time when you want to write that letter to God. You want to sit down, same setting, and write that letter. What are you bringing into your experience? And I want you to take your time with that and be specific. Write out your vision for yourself. Write what you are asking God to bring into your experience. And then I want you to seal your letter in an envelope. And I want you to mail that sealed envelope. So hear me good. Seal the letter to God. Mail the sealed envelope to our attention, Upchurch, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. We're going to put that letter in our prayer chest. And with me, my assistant minister, Reverend Sheree, our prayer chaplains, we're going to hold your request to God in prayer. We're not going to open it. We're just going to hold it in prayer. And in July 2022, we're going to have an amazing celebration. We're going to return that letter to you and let you be amazed at what the Spirit has done through you. So again, you want to send your sealed letter to God. Make sure you put a stamp on it to our attention. Upchurch, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. Make sure it's sealed, put it in another envelope and send it to us. And we're going to put it in our prayer chest. When this process is complete, The next thing is to simply go about your business. If thoughts of the burned material come back, you want to gently dismiss them. Tell them that they have served their purpose in your life and that they are no longer needed. Even the negative thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes have probably served some purpose. And so you want to replace the dismissed thought with a positive statement such as, I am poised and centered in peace, love, joy, success, whatever. The calm peace of my soul is undisturbed by anyone or any circumstance, past or present. And if you find that there is a thought that just persistent, just keeps coming up, it's probably an indication that it's time to do another burning bowl. There's probably another file drawer in that subconscious mind and those memory banks that it's time to clean out. Thank you so much for being a part of this year's burning bowl. I bless you to be free from whatever would keep you from what God has for you. God bless you.
Let your will be done. Not my will. You are the Father, I am the Son. Not my will. You are the potter, and I am the clay. Please mold me in your very special way. Heavenly Father, this is the prayer I humbly pray. I want your will to be done. Although this cup is hard to drink, let your will be done. Not my will. Through you, Christ Jesus, I'm stronger, so much stronger than I think. Oh, not my will. This is why I came to be, so that you might express the way you want to through me, so that I might have the great victory. I want your will to be done. Let your will be done. Not my will. Holy Father. It doesn't matter what the task may be. Whatever you ask of me. Not my will. I have enough sense to know that you know what's best. What is best for me, Lord? Not my will. Lord, just show me what you would have me to do. Your word in me and I in you. I put my hope and trust in you. Heavenly Father, 'cause there's no other God like you. Let it be. I 'cause it's not my will.
All right, family, it is time to support your spiritual center and help us take this message global. Made it so easy for you to support UpChurch. Contributions to our ministry can be made online. You can text UpChurch to 73256, or you can go to upchurch.org and click on the give button, or you can make your gift via Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA, or you can mail in your gift. And remember, we have a new mailing address, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. Would you read along with me? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God. All right, let's back up that blessing with a declaration. We want to send this seed out with energy, enthusiasm, and expectancy. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive abundantly. I am a massive giver and a gracious receiver. All right, family, let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close us out.
Good day, I am Dr. Deron Pulley, the spiritual leader of today's Church Tampa Bay, and I'm excited about Ministry Development Weekend at UpChurch. I'm excited about coming to LA January the 28th through the 30th, 2022 for Ministry Development Weekend. It's going to be a powerful weekend, a time for better living, a time to recharge and get ready for 2022 and the fullness of all that it has to bring. So registration is going on now. You can register, and even if you're coming from out of town, you can still be a part. There is limited housing for those that are coming out of town. So you got to RSVP as soon as possible. Again, I'm inviting you to Ministry Development Weekend, January the 28th through the 30th, 2022 at UpChurch with Reverend Sherri James and Reverend Sheree Thompson. I'm excited. It's always a great time, and you're going to be a part of it.
Hey UpChurch family, I'm here to give you a brief announcement about our spiritual education classes. Classes are in session starting next week. On January 9th, Spiritual Principles for Lasting Weight Loss returns for a second session. That class will be on Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Beginning on January 16th, our Bible 4 class will begin. John Downey's teaching that course, and it'll take place at 3 p.m. on Sundays. And starting that week on January 19th, we'll have our Basic Truth Principles 1 class. This is a great class for those of you who are new to the teaching, new members, or who want a refresher on the basics. That class will take place on Wednesdays, and the time will be announced. Register today at upchurch.org or just go to our website, upchurch.org, and register for your class today. God bless.
I want you to join me Sunday, January 9th for my new workshop, Manifesting Money. This workshop is a sneak preview of the larger course that's coming later in the month of January. But this is an opportunity for you to get in and for you to learn about some of the principles that'll be covered in the larger course. And if you haven't already, just by signing up for the workshop, you will get a copy of my new digital planner, also called Manifesting Money. Can you tell what we're going to be talking about? You don't want to miss this opportunity. Go ahead right now. There's a link in the show notes. I'll see you on the 9th. I want to thank you again for being a part of our Burning Bowl service today. I hope that it fulfill the intention that is in our hearts, which is that you are now free from those patterns that would seek to keep you down. Our intention is that you are now open in a greater way, that you have reconnected, that you have reset, and that you have reaffirmed your true spiritual identity. I love you. I'm so grateful that you're here. I can't wait to see you at all the things that we have planned for 2022. But I send you forward today free, unburdened, and able to have what the Spirit has prepared for you. Let's take our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Have an absolutely beautiful day. I will see you in the after party.